Brian Dawkins, the left tackle of the New York Bills, came out here on NFL Central, has a questionable statement and take about his quarterback, Josh Allen. Hey, I feel like, yeah, you got to defend your quarterback, but at the same time, that wasn't the right thing to say. We're going to talk about that, of course, as well as Brian Burns, another New Yorker that's in the Giants. The edge rusher said that the linebacker core for the Giants ain't going to be nothing to play with. He feel like they're going to be very good and sneaky good. And quite frankly, I might agree with him. But y'all know we got to talk about it on NFL Central right after the music, though.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
Thank y'all for tuning in for another episode of NFL Central. It's one of your hosts here, Stevo Speaks, here for another episode here. And yeah, we're going to get straight into it as y'all heard me talk about it in the intro. Brian Dawkins, left tackle for the Buffalo Bills. I know I said New York Bills. Hey, it's in New York. Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, he had some questionable statements coming out on NFL Network when they, asked him, some things about himself as well as his thoughts and his process coming up with last year and coming up with this year, how he feels about this year, his expectations, this, that, and the third. He also revealed that he lost about 45 pounds over the offseason. So credit to him. He's probably going to be easily probably the one best shape of his life. So credit to him. But we're going to go straight into the exact quote he said, which was, I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said in the beginning, I understand there's a time and place for everything, 100%. But at the end of the day, yeah, you got to defend your quarterback. But when it comes to the quarterback of Josh Allen, I just feel like what he said, I don't know if it really is something that should have been said. So this the quote. Now, the question was, what was his expectations on Josh Allen in this up and coming season? And he says, I don't have any. He said on the lines, I don't have any. I don't want to add any extra pressure to that kid that he already has. Josh understands what he's doing, what he's not doing. He understands the mindset. It is what we need and what we expect. Just let him go out. We just let him know that Josh is out there to be Josh. Josh is Josh. And at the end of the day, to some degree, yes, you don't want to put no more added pressure on the quarterback because 100% is the most pressurized position in sports. Quite frankly, I'm not even going to just say football. Win or lose, it goes on the quarterback. Whether the defense has a bad day, whether wide receivers out there dropping balls, whether the offensive line ain't playing up to snuff, when it comes down to it, do it. The win or loss total, 80% of that gonna go on the quarterback's shoulders. And quite frankly, it is what it is. The quarterbacks that are the quarterbacks, especially the great ones, understand that and they accept that. But I feel like it's a little bit crazy for him to come out there and say that, especially coming off the performance that he had in losing in the playoffs, which he did, which was, quite frankly, a lot of his fault. Like, you can't go out there, turn the ball over twice, and give up, I believe, a fumble. It's maybe two fumbles. Like, he turned the ball over in that last playoff game a lot, and they had, and quite frankly, majority of the people around the NFL looked at him and said, "Bro, this one on you." And we're not gonna sit here and let you escape any more accountability that you've, quite frankly, already have. Like, when it comes down to it, they've sat and simply made a whole entire new rule for Josh Allen. The overtime rule, I don't care what nobody say, whether you a Josh Allen stan or not. They made the overtime rule where both sides can get a chance to score strictly on him because Patrick Mahomes came out there and ran that shit in 13 seconds. And ever since then, they felt bad for him. They felt like it gives them for him to do what he did, which in that case, which is weird to say. No, it's not weird to say. Like it's different. Each and every season is a different case for each every season. But in that game, relatively, it wasn't his fault that they lost the game. It was the defense fault. But in this game, the last game of last year, it was most definitely his fault. And quite frankly, I'm just kind of getting annoyed of the way that the media is just trying to bypass some of the things that they don't let other quarterbacks bypass. Josh, now I'm not even going to bring up the typical Lamar Jackson conversation that they always do, because we already know why and how much Lamar Jackson is targeted as a quarterback. But y'all should see the shit that they give. Well, we all see the shit that they give Jalen Hurts. Oh, he's not a real thrower of the ball. He's not the greatest quarterback ever. When it comes down to it, can you really rely on his arm and his mind only to win you a football game? This, that, and the third. Woo, skippy, woo, woo. I don't care about all that, because, quite frankly, he been to the big dance twice and won once. And quite frankly, he did his thing in both of them, throwing the ball. But every time Jalen Hurts has a misstep, a misfire, a mistake, a case where he loses a game and has a lot to do with him and it's on his shoulders, hey, they could go out there and blast his ass for weeks. But when we started to, I'm sorry, I was one of the people that I had to shift my mindset, because I like Josh Allen, but you're not gonna sit here and cry and then the whole world is sitting here finna pat you on the shoulder because you're just so great. No, motherfucker, you need to get the job done. You need to get the job done. Just like they expect Lamar Jackson to get the job done, just like they expect Josh Allen, not even just like they expect Justin Herbert to get it done. They expect it to get it done. They don't care. But when it comes to you and Sunshine and other people, they just bypass. And people that don't know who Sunshine is, that's Trevor Lawrence. When it comes to like a couple quarterbacks in this league, they turn a blind eye to a lot of things. And quite frankly, with this Brian Dawkins statement, I just feel like, yeah, he came to the defense of his left tackle, of his quarterback. And I understand he has some true things to say. You don't want to put no more added pressure on the quarterback, but it is what it is. Like right now, he's gonna have all the pressure in the world on him from this point on, because like all of his counterparts has either gotten to the big dance or gotten close to it or won it, and he ain't even stepped foot in it yet. It is what it is, and I'm just not going to keep standing for the coddling and the baby-fied nature that we're having with Josh Allen. I'm not going to keep doing it, and quite frankly, I hope he don't. I hope the mindset is real. I hope he understands that if he's going to win a championship, it's going to fall on his shoulders, regardless if it's 100% his fault or not. It's going to fall on his shoulders, and he just got to go out there and get the job done, just like other people has gone out there and get the job done, especially this year, because, quite frankly, this is it. This is the best team I can honestly say since you've been drafted. This is the best team this whole organization has surrounded you at. You have weapons, you have an offensive line, you have a run game. You have a defense, and you've added to this defense even more than you did last year, as well as added more weapons than you did last year. So, quite frankly, if you don't do it now or in the next year after this, that door is closing. That door is already closing, to be quite frank with you. But like I said, make sure y'all drop y'all comments down below. Do you feel like the media and maybe his organization, hell, even his teammates, are coddling Josh Allen? Because at the end of the day, like I said, Buddy he's done pretty much everything he is to do. He's won an MVP. He's been he's finished second in the MVP race like 3 times. Like, you've done everything accolades wise that you're supposed to do as a quarterback, but win the big game. It's just time to go win the big game, and the pressure's going to be on you regardless of what your left tackle or anybody else on your organization says. The eyes of the world is going to be on Josh Allen for this season, and we're going to go out here and see, can you go out there and win the big game? But like I said, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you drop your comments of what you think of this conversation. Now to peek into the next conversation, I ain't gonna be for before y'all too much longer, but Brian Burns came out here and said that he feels like the linebacking core, not just the defense itself, but he got specific. The linebacking core of the Giants will be one of the most dynamic and, if not one of the best, linebacker cores in the league. And quite frankly, it most definitely had the potential to do that. We all know the big addition that they had signing, which was Tremaine Evans from the Bears. Excuse me, as he's getting up there in age, even though he's still fairly young for how long he's been in the league. But as well as drafting Arvell Reese, who was their 5th pick in the draft, as well as Michael McFadden in the rotation, as well as Bobby Corey Curry. I don't know how to pronounce it. Don't be mad at me. But I think they do have a solid linebacker core, in my opinion. You got a smart Mike and Tremaine Edmonds, who's has both experience in playing in the Mike, especially the last 2 to 3 years with DA and the Bears. But he also has experience playing in the Will. So, but of course, I think he is going to be the Mike in this defense, as well as we already seen he has history with the coach in New York. So as well when it's time when he was with Buffalo. So it is as well. But I think that not only is it Tremaine Edmonds is the reason why it's going to be good. Putting somebody like Arvell Reese next to him, it will be a game changer for Tremaine, because for somebody that's a Bears fan and seen a lot of Tremaine, I think we had 4 or 5 years of Tremaine. He's a big linebacker, but for his size, he can move very well. But he's not I wouldn't say the most athletic, but he's very athletic for his size. But with Arvell being the freak specimen that he is, the sideline playmaker that he could be at the linebacker position, you can allow Tremaine use his brain and his length to cause problems in the zone coverage, because when you put somebody that's going to be out there moving side to side and is a threat to hit somebody, just like Arvell Reese did, especially what he did in Ohio State, I think it could be a recipe for disaster for anybody, especially along line the defensive line that they have, because we already know what they did with keeping. They still got Thibodeau, they still got Burns, they still got they don't got Dexter Lawrence no more, but they still got a talented D line on that line. So you still got 2 edges. You got Arvell Reese, Tremaine. You got Michael McFadden, who's a physical linebacker within his own and knows how to play his role pretty well. I can't say I disagree. Now, there is other linebacker cores that's going to have to say. Denver's linebacker core going to have something to say. Who else is I would say Baltimore always going to have something to say, of course. Who else am I Seattle linebacker core is going to have something to say. Yeah, so like there's I'm not going out there and just going to flat out say that the Giants have the best core in the league, but I think they can be, as of a preseason, I would say that preseason wise, they are within the top 10, you could argue top 5 into linebacking cores. But that's all I got for y'all today. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, drop that notification bell if you don't already. Make sure you hit it, because that lets you know whenever a video or a live drop, you're gonna see it first. But thank y'all for tuning in for another episode. It's your boy Stevo Speaks. This is NFL Central, and I'll be back when it's time to make another video. Peace. Yeah.
This has been a presentation